Please be assured your safety as well as your enjoyment of our event are our utmost concern. Please take a moment to look around and identify the nearest two exits. So for those on the stage, the exits are to the right and to the left, and for those in the audience, the exits are to the back. Those in the front, the exits are to the right or to the left. While in a virtual setting at your home or physically in some formal exits, we must always remain ready in case we have to evacuate quickly and orderly. Also, during this post-COVID-19 pandemic, even if you have been vaccinated and boosted, although optional, we encourage you to please continue to wear masks, wash hands, and keep a safe walking distance. If we need to evacuate this event, we will follow the guidance of the school principal and the school security and Piscataway public safety officials. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Patricia Williamson, and I'd like to welcome you to our Piscataway Township Board of Education Candidates Forum. I'm the proud chapter president of the Central Jersey Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated is an organization of college education committed to the constructive development of its members and to public service with a primary focus on the Black community. The Central Jersey Alumni Chapter, also known as CJA, is a group of dynamic women bonded by sisterhood, committed to community uplift and engagement in the Black community through public service, scholarship, and social action in Union, Middlesex, and Somerset counties. We were chartered by 30 remarkable women 50 years ago next month with a common love of service and need to contribute to the community. Our vision for this biennium is better together. When CJA works in partnership with local schools and community-based organizations, we are better together. When we pool resources and implement our strategic plans as a team, our counties, our state, our region, and our nation are all better together. Piscataway, this program is designed for you. It highlights how working better together can make a difference. I extend a warm welcome and thanks to our co-sponsor, the League of Women Voters of the Greater New Brunswick area. We're teaming up to stress the significance of voting in next month's local election. Local elections have real impact, and your participation is important. Today is the last day to register to vote for the November 4th election. We wanted to connect with you before Election Day because we believe it truly matters. You'll have the chance to hear directly from candidates running for positions on your Board of Education. We value their commitment and thank them for dedicating their time to serve. I would like to acknowledge and thank my awesome CJA Social Action Tri-Chairs, Lisa Malloy-Stevens, Michelle Bailey, and Adrian Strigler, and the rest of the planning committee for bringing together this event. I would also like to thank the Piscataway Township Board of Education and the Quibbletown Middle School for allowing us to host this program here tonight. Let's get ready for an interesting and informative evening. I'll now turn this over to the moderator. I'll now turn this over to Stephen Lax, who's going to bring remarks for the League of Women Voters.
Good evening. My name is Stephen Lax. I'm Voter Education Chair of the League of Women Voters of Greater New Brunswick area. On behalf of the League of Women Voters and the Central Jersey Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, I'm pleased to welcome you to our candidate forum for the candidates for Piscataway Board of Education. The Board of Education sets the policy for the local public schools. If you are a property owner here, school costs are a large but essential part of your property tax bills. Tonight's sponsors are nonpartisan organizations that encourage informed and active participation in the government. Work to increase the understanding of major policy issues and influence public policy through education and advocacy. The sponsors never support or oppose political parties or candidates. Before I introduce tonight's forum moderator, if you have a question for the candidates, please print the question on one of the index cards provided and turn it in. Some questions have already been turned in by those who registered in advance, and we most likely will not have time for all questions. However, if your question is addressed to all of the candidates and is about a Board of Education topic for which we do not now have a question, we will turn it into the moderator for possible inclusion. This forum is being recorded by students from Piscataway High School, and we really thank them for their participation in this event. The forums will be posted on both sponsors' websites in the next few days. It will be available, and we sincerely thank them for providing this public service. We encourage the sharing of the recording of this event in its entirety, but do not allow editing or making public any excerpts from the recording. The sponsors' names, logos, event recording, or any materials from the event cannot be used in a way that would lead a viewer or reader to infer the league and other sponsors' support of or opposition to a candidacy. Our moderator for this evening is Arun Ayagari. He has an MA in political science and is a League of Women Voters State Board member and trained moderator who is not from this voting district. He will introduce the candidates and outline the format for the evening.
Hello, good evening. How's everybody? Good? More energy, one more time. Good evening. How's everybody? Yeah. Great. Get that excitement right there. That's what we need from candidates. Thank you for making it tonight. I know it's a weekday evening, so we really appreciate that on behalf of League of Women Voters. Like Steve mentioned, my name is Arun Ayagari. I will, just like everything else in life, there are rules, and that applies to candidate forums too. So let me read some rules. I normally print it out, but I forgot to print it, so I'm going to read it from my iPhone, so please bear with me. The moderator's decision on matters that arise during the forum are final. Observe time limits. Limit your answer to the response time allocated. When the timekeeper signals time has expired, finish your sentence and please stop. The opening statements are a minute and a half long. Responses are a minute long. Rebuttals, if any, half a minute, that's 30 seconds long. And closing statements are a minute long. Order of questioning. The moderator will call on candidates in a way that ensures fairness. Some questions may be addressed to a specific candidate, but in every case, all candidates will have an opportunity to respond if they choose. Rebuttal, there will be a rebuttal, like I mentioned, 30-second time limit. Please raise your hand if your name is not called by a candidate answering the question. Only candidates are allowed to appear on stage at the forum, no surrogate, no coaching. A table outside the forum room is available for campaign literature. If you choose to, you might place your literature there. No sharing of literature is allowed inside the forum room. Candidate and audience, ground rules. Believe it or not, there are rules for audience too. All electronic devices must be deactivated. Candidates and the audience must refrain from posting on social media during the forum. Neither candidates nor their supporters, staff, nor anyone in the audience other than the league designees may photograph or record this event or edit or use excerpts from the official recording for use in their campaigns. No wearing of apparel or buttons supporting a candidate or party is allowed. This forum is devoted to hearing only the views of the candidates running for this office, which is the 3 candidates on stage here. Questions must follow league policy of being concerned with issues relevant to the office being sought and not statements of personal views. Abusive, personalized, or irrelevant questions or remarks are not allowed. Questions may be addressed to a particular candidate, but all candidates will have the opportunity to respond. No discussions from the floor is allowed. No cheering or booing is permitted. Please hold your applause. I know it's an exciting time of the year, including myself, but please hold your applause until the end. In order to hear equally from each candidate, like I said, please hold your applause. I'd like to introduce the candidates now. Starting from my left, candidate Courtney King, candidate Nancy Salgado Cohen, candidate Chetna Shah. A round of applause for the candidates. Thank you. We will start with Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless America. Thank you. We'll start the forum with opening statement from each candidate. For opening statements, we'll start from my left, move to the right. For closing statement, we'll do the opposite, move from right to the left. Like I said, opening statements are 90 seconds long. If you may start, candidate King.
Good evening, everyone. As you know, my name is Courtney King. I've been living in Piscataway for about 13 years. I'm a single father of a 17-year-old girl and I'm a stepfather of a 15 and a 13-year-old. I'm just really interested in making sure that the children that are here get a lot of the opportunities that I never got as a child growing up in the Bronx of New York City. And everything that I'm trying to do and will continue to do will be for the improvement of all others. Thank you.
Hello?
Yep.
Okay. I'm Nancy Salgado Cohen. I'm currently the Vice President of your school board and a candidate for re-election. I'm going to address what I feel is the most pressing issues facing the New Jersey public schools at this time, and specifically here in Piscataway. First and foremost, safety must be our top priority. If our children do not feel safe, they cannot learn. Today's climate, with federal immigration enforcement activities sometimes taking place in our homes, churches, and even allowed into schools, many of our students, regardless of their citizenship or their parents' legal status, are living in fear. This fear directly affects their ability to focus, learn, and thrive. Additionally, school violence and guns have been an issue for more than 10 years in this country, and it does not seem to have any end. Anything being done in reference to that needs to get done. Our children are being killed every single day in schools, so safety is of the utmost concern when it comes to our schools. You'll see that I'm wearing an orange ribbon, and that is to support gun violence, being able to have resolution and safety in order to come up with laws to make sensible gun laws. So as a board member, we have the responsibility to ensure that every child who enters
Sorry,
our school...
time's up. Thank you. Candidate Shah.
That I was able to finish the sentence, but
Okay.
thanks.
You may
Every
finish
child
the
would be
sentence.
able to enter our school and feel secure and protected.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep, you want.
Hello,
Yep,
my
you're
name
good.
is Chetna Shah, and I'm running for Board of Education, and my slogan is Time for Change. I would like to ask you a question. In 12 to 13 years of kids' education, how age-appropriate education they get? And also, are they get enough physical, mental spiritual, as well as emotional and social well-being. If you guys think it's 100, they are getting perfect 100%, and they get all the 12-year perfectly used, then there is no point for me to run for an election. But in my opinion, we can still do better outcome for them. They are not getting good education as well as good treatment from the school. So my strategy is to change structure, to bring the structural as well as educational change. And for that, in order to make them strong and to survive in this society at any age. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, thank you. First, please hold your applause. Thank you. First question. What is the one thing you wish to accomplish on the Board of Education in the coming year? We'll start with candidate King. What is one thing you wish to accomplish on the Board of Ed in the coming year?
So there is a gap in between from the different ethnicities of the children inside of our school. Some kids in our school system are doing very well, while others are not doing as well. And that's not because people in one race are smarter than people in another race. I think that there's a lack of information and availability to programs and other things of that nature to help the other kids who are not getting the support that they need. So I'm just looking to try to bridge that gap and make sure that all of the kids inside of our school system have equal access and equal opportunity to all systems that can make them move forward in a positive way.
Right. Candidate Shah? Yeah.
So, see, this is my point too. This is what I say, like, we need to bring the structural change in education. So all the students get the equal, I mean, everyone get the equal curriculum and everything. But are they grasping equally? All the students are showing equal interest to learn themselves, to get educated? No, because some of them are totally waste their life, waste their time. So for that, we need to bring the structural change. In that, we have to come up with a model where we can use the students to help the other not motivated students. And that is what my plan is. Thank you.
Candidate Salgado Cohen?
Yes, I've heard from both candidates to my right and my left about something that's very important, learning loss. We all know that since the events of the global pandemic, many of our students continue to struggle to catch up academically. And we need to bridge that gap. We need to know what are the things that we need to do to catch all of our students up. It's not equality as much as when you talk about equality, you can't give everybody the same thing. You need to make sure that it's equitable, meaning that some children are going to need more and some children are going to need less and some children are going to need extra times. So as a school board member, we need to enforce policies and practices that are going to make sure that every student is given what they need.
The school budget increased significantly this year. Can you address why the budget increased? How would you address this going forward? Candidate Salgado Cohen.
Yes, I would love to answer this question. So the budget was increased significantly because of the needs that our school board has to mandated budget constraints such as health and safety of our teachers and the contracts that we have and obligations to our educators and our staff. As we all know, that healthcare is a rising cost, and because of that, we put out for a healthcare waiver, which increased the amount that we can ask for. There's a 2% cap that's put on, but with that waiver, we were able to go out for more. Equally, in the last 10 years, this school board has never utilized the full 2% that was afforded. So we've never gone over that 2% in the past, so this is what we did this year.
Right, Candidate King.
So, as everybody knows, recently the Department of Education federally was gutted, and our state aid has continuously been diminishing year to year to year. So now we're forced to locally fund our schools, and we're never going to say that we don't want our schools to get the funding that it needs, because then it'll affect our kids, and we want to give our kids and other people's kids the best possible education, because the more educated that our kids are, the better that our local society will be, the better our community will be, the better our country would be. So basically what I would like to do is I would like to work more with more local governments, local entities, to try to see if we can get more resources for our kids from private companies, and also try to see if there's other programs and grants and other things that we can apply for to get additional funding. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you. Candidate Shah.
Well, I don't know much about the budget. I know I work in Board of Education, but I do have an idea, like if we need more budget, probably we need for better use. Probably we need for health insurance for teachers, or to bring the changes in the education system. But whatever we do, we increase the budget. But first thing we have to see is that by increasing budget, are we bringing change in students' education? Are we bringing change in students' well-being, in any growth? If the students are coming out with the same rate of education, not successful, same rate of success and not successful, then there is no point of increasing budget. First of all, we have to see the school system on the base of students' progress, students' outcome. And we have to use all the money more towards students' outcome instead of wasting money.
Right, thank you. The Board of Ed website has information about budget, meeting minutes, and other information. Is there anything you would add or delete? Let's start with Candidate Shah. Right. Question is, the Board of Ed website has information about budget, meeting minutes, and other information. Is there anything you would add or delete?
Well, at this time, I do not want to add or delete anything because I'm still learning these things. So I'm okay.
Okay. Candidate Salgado Cohen.
At the moment, what is there is good. I think that there is always room for improvement in anything we do, and transparency is paramount. So I feel that if there's some information that could be added, absolutely, we should add that. The only additional information is perhaps the fiscal planning minutes. I believe that those are on there as well. But other than that, I wouldn't find any need to add anything else.
Candidate King.
So again, I'm just going to refer back to programs. We have a lot of different available entities here in our town of Piscataway. We have tons of warehouses, tons of businesses. We have a new YMCA community center. I believe that all of that should be included into what is available to our kids. For instance, the YMCA, I feel that all of the kids that go to any school inside Piscataway should have free access to that YMCA. It should be more of a community center for the kids instead of a workout center for the residents. And things like that that are available to our kids so that they can have more intramural type of activities, after school programs, things that are gonna keep them busy in their mind and their body, should be interested. We shouldn't just have availability to programs to athletes. It should be available to all.
Thank you. There has been a decrease in partial funding and Medicaid cuts. How do you plan to account for the decrease in funding for special ed and related services? Candidate Salgado Cohen.
Well, first of all, I think that there's something that has not been addressed, which is payments in lieu of taxes. And there's a large amount of money here in Piscataway that the schools are not being given, that the township collects and does not give to the schools. They do not share that profit with us, and that would help the schools tremendously and would allow us to not have to go to the taxpayers and increase our budgets in that way. So I would really address that issue by working with the township, the council people, and the mayor, and ask if we can have them give a portion of the pilot program monies towards our special education programs, which are stellar here in Piscataway.
Candidate King.
Ms. Salgado Cohen said it all right there, but in addition to that as well, like I said, we have a lot of businesses here. There should be some type of internships available to kids. Those internships where kids can make money can also offset the funding that is needed for other children inside of the schools. There has to be some type of grants, whether it's statewide or federally, or just with different types of programs like the Deltas or the League of Women Voters. You never know, so we just have to research those and try to see what we can get that's available to help us out.
Candidate Shah.
If the social needs students need more budget, then we can distribute from other budget area to that social need students. And we can also request from federal as well as other agencies. So that's all we do.
Thank you. Do you have plans to change the current Board of Education goals? If so, which ones and why?
To me?
Yeah, Candidate Shah.
All right, so Board of Education have a plan and they are doing good. But I like to add my point, and I will put foremost the students' outcome in this 12 to 13 years of education. So, as I told you earlier, like I need to change. I mean, I'm towards like to bring the change in education structure. Like one teacher for 20 to 25 students is always there is no good outcome. Like in the school population, 95% are students and 5% are teacher, paraprofessional, teacher's aide, principals and all others. How can you imagine that 5% can bring a good outcome of that 95% of population of students? Right there we need to change something. Instead of going all around with budgets and other things, we need to change the structure to get the good outcome of the students. Then think of the budgets and everything.
Candidate Salgado Cohen.
So every year, the Board of Education looks at our goals, and once we feel that we have mastered some of those goals, or we have gone as far as we can with certain goals, we will rework them. If we find there's a new need, we do absolutely every year reevaluate. So it's an ongoing process. So absolutely, goals are ever changing. There are standard goals that, as putting kids first, we always have in the back of our minds, right? Because we are putting kids first. We always are looking to the mental health and growth of our children. We are always looking for the safety of our children. We are always wanting our children to have, obviously, strong academic achievements, which we do have here in Piscataway. Just recently, we had 19, which is 5 more than last year, students attain the honor of getting full recognition for their achievements in their SAT scores. So these are things that we're doing and we will continue to do.
Candidate King.
So yes, you always want to keep extending your goals, but currently all of our goals haven't been met. So therefore, until I meet those goals, or my whole entire board meets those goals, I'm not going to be looking to change anything. This is a district where we produce a lot of beautiful and excellent children. If you ever just pay attention to the people we putting out to the world, we put out some real winners. Like our high school went to NASA, for Christ's sake, you know? Like, so I grew up in a city, a very big city, where we didn't get anywhere near the opportunities that are available that we give to our children here. So I'm standing fast with my goals.
Thank you. Do you believe there are subjects that should be eliminated or added to the curriculum? If so, which subjects and why? What about after school and other student activities? This one will start with Candidate King.
So I've touched on this a little bit before. Right now we have some clubs that are available to certain children, and we have sports that are available to athletes. I believe that the people who don't fit in those two demographics, they need something. So, like I said, intramurals, which are like after-school programs. People who can't actually make the basketball team or football team, maybe they should get some type of activity where they can just have access to the gym and, you know, let loose some of that, what might have been built up during the school day. They need to have access to the YMCA. They shouldn't be going to the YMCA when they live in this town and told that you don't have a membership, you can't come in. So things of that nature is what I think that we should be looking to try to improve for our kids.
Candidate Salgado Cohen.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly with Mr. King. Building up partnerships will be vital to bringing in extra programming and extracurriculars. So this way we don't have to put out more budgetary concerns. So absolutely there are major needs in terms of after-school activities. I also would like to see more done for the special needs children. I know we have Buddy Ball in town. I would like to see that program expanded on, where those children will get not just, you know, for Buddy Ball, but where they can do other activities, not just for basketball, but maybe T-ball, where they also get buddied, or, you know, so this program works where they get a buddy and it helps both the student with special needs as well as their buddy.
Candidate Shah.
So curriculum-wise, like math, language arts, science, computer science, I mean, subjects are all good, but how many students are getting those? How many are getting through those subjects? One thing. Second thing, in my belief, after 7th or 8th grade, they are supposed to expose the real world scenarios, what's going on in real world, like how the technology, healthcare, pharmaceutical companies, how they really work, and expose up to the end, not like short exposure. Reach them up to the highest level exposure. So they then think like what they want to do in their life, which career they want to choose. And that has to start right from 8th grade. And all this primary education like math, science, social studies, history, computer science has to be done by 7th to 8th grade. And after that,
Oh,
more focus
time's
on
up. Chitna, time's up. Thank you. How would you promote the partnership between school board and parents or guardians? This question is to candidate Salgado Cohen.
Well, thank you. Parents, staff, and community members are the backbone of our district. Their voice matters, and they should always have a place in the conversation. I'm the chair of the Culture, Climate, and Community Relations. I've been part of that group for over 3-4 years, and it's amazing, right? These parents and guardians, they are really there to work together for the same goal, to do what's best for our kids. As a board member, I believe in being open, honest, and accessible. That means creating spaces where people feel comfortable sharing ideas and concerns, whether that's through town halls, surveys, committees, or just reaching out directly. No one should ever feel shut out of the process. Transparency is key. Is that the time? Oh, well, not yet. We have to make sure people understand what is happening and why decisions are being made and how those decisions impact our students and staff.
All right, time's up, thanks. Candidate Shah?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Of course you can. How would you promote the partnership between the board and parents or guardians?
All right, so there's a big role of parents in students' education. Like 8 hours they stay in the school, but remaining 8 hours they stay with their parents, and parents are always involved in their education, homework, and school meetings, parent-teacher meetings. It's very important, and many students more learn from home than they learn from the school. And always parent-teacher collaboration is very important, because parents also have to give many things, provide many things to their kid as well as other students. And I believe parents should come, school should invite parents to, those are highly educated parents. They can share their experience with the students, they motivate them, and they give them light on their field, and that way they are exposed to. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Candidate King?
So you use the tools that are available to us in the 20th century. So we have social media, we have YouTube. So we should be always giving out as much information as possible where people are always looking. Meet the people where they're at. All right, if there's a football game, go to the football game. Encourage the children to speak to their parents, to get their parents involved. Get involved with all of the local clubs. Just this past year, my daughter, she did a Juneteenth barbecue where we pushed to get all of the parents out to help support, and the kids use the money to help fund their senior dues. And we're going to continue to push things of that nature. We're also reaching out to different clubs that we don't actually may have somebody that might be involved with them, but get to know them, get to know their parents, get to let them know the resources, have them attend school board meetings, have them come to all different types of activities, and always push town spirit. Let's go, P-Way.
All right, thank you. How do you define safe learning environment? How will you ensure a safe learning environment for students and staff? Candidate King?
We're doing a lot of that already. We have a lot of former police officers who roam our school halls. They do not allow anybody into the schools without an appointment. We are always checking and making sure that the kids are good mentally, and not that there are any altercations or type of gripes that the kids are having with each other, because when you have those gripes that happen outside of the school, then eventually they make their way into the school. We have a lot of social work that happens. We work with Rutgers, and we have the Haven. Oh, sorry.
You can finish your sentence.
Yeah, we have the Haven, which offers therapy and mentoring to our kids to help them make sure that they have no type of social issues, either at home or inside of the school.
All right, thank you. Candidate Salgado Cohen?
Could you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Sure. How do you define safe learning environment? How will you ensure a safe learning environment for students and staff?
So, safe learning environment is very important, and it like Mr. King said, it involves many things, not just the physical environment. We do have many things in place. We have cameras. We have the two pronged doors where the first door doesn't open unless the second door doesn't open until the first door has been opened. We make sure that the students, the staff, everybody is aware that we can't hold doors open for individuals. Everybody gets signed in. In the high school, it's very heightened where even parents aren't allowed into the building unless they have appointments. So second prong, as a board member, we have the responsibility to ensure that every child who enters our school feels secure and protected. And through those efforts, as a board member here in Piscataway, each of our schools are equipped with those doors and so on. We also need to maintain policies that have been adopted here in Piscataway that state that the ICE agents are not able to enter our schools without a warrant. And these are the kinds of policies that it's not about politics, it's about protecting our kids and their well-being.
All right.
So there are two ways, like a threat from outside, where outside people comes and does the shooting and all the violence inside the school. And another thing is from inside school itself, the students becomes threatened to other students or teachers. Now outside we can control by security and other measures like putting double doors and close after the school hours, during the school hours. But inside, when students is giving hard time to other students, bullying other student, or giving to the teacher, that we have to address by, again, in that also my structural change of the classroom comes into play, as well as we have to frequent counseling and mental health. And if we see the students who are threatening to other students, or are threatening for other students, we have to address right away and give them help. And we have to come to the bottom of the solution problem. Why this kid is threatening? Why this particular kid is not in normal behavior? Thank you.
Thank you. How should the school system expose students to both college careers and non-college careers so they can make a choice that's best for them? Start with candidate Salgado Cohen.
Well, I think that at this time, the way that our students are being exposed to college careers and non-college bound is working out, but definitely could use more improvement in the non-college bound. Over the last 3 years, the school board has made some emphasis on making sure that we make it clear that not all students will go to college, and that is perfectly fine. We have a school fair where electricians and tradespeople come in and they show these students what is out there for them. And so I would like to see those programs continue and be expounded on. And we also have our College Career Center where we have colleges come through and give interviews and so on like that. Thank you.
Candidate Shah.
Okay, so for the career to be chosen by the students, it has to start from the early, exposure should be early, from 8th to 9th grade. They have to expose all the possible career choices in our society, and that can be done by exposing them, giving the internships, going to the corporates, bringing highly educated parents or inside the school and give them ideas about how the particular system works, like for example healthcare system, how the healthcare system works. as well as we have to create the classes like education, curriculum, which focus on current cutting edge technologies as well as healthcare and other fields of our society.
Thank you. Next question. These are the questions from our audience here. Oh, I apologize. Candidate King, go ahead. That was the last question. I was in a rush. Sorry.
It's all right, I'm very insignificant.
I can repeat the question if you prefer.
No, I got it.
Okay.
So we've actually made very significant improvements in the school since I've been in the board. One thing that I would like to see is to, even though we're not a vocational district, to start implementing some vocational classes, maybe in healthcare careers, maybe in automotive, things of that nature. I went to a school that offered that, and it was very good for me. But right now, we do have a lot of programs where we have colleges and we have sororities and we have fraternities that come through to talk to our students. I believe there's actually some happening this week. We do have the career fairs where the children actually get to go and see different types of opportunities that's available to them. We also have in the elementary level where our kids go to some place, I believe it's called Industry City, where the kids go and they get different jobs. One kid will be an engineer, one kid will be an architect, one kid will be a baker, and they actually get to go inside of this city in the elementary level and learn how it is to be a person in the real world. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Now, this question is from the audience. What plans or platforms do you have outlined if elected? You can go from left to right. Candidate King.
As I said before, the first thing I would like to do if I'm re-elected is to start working on programs to where the school district is working a little bit more closely with the town to try to get some of these programs that are already available inside of our district but are not being utilized.
Can Salgado call?
And piggybacking on that, I would also like to see us as a district get our fair share of funding from the township through our pilot programs, so that this way we can defray the amount of monies that need to be coming from our taxpayers. Additionally, in terms of programming, my biggest gap would be to improve on the special needs programming and make sure that that program is being held to its highest standards. These are things that guidelines are changing, ever changing. As a pediatric nurse practitioner, I deal with special needs children all the time in my professional life, where I get paid, not as a board member where we get paid $0. So I really have a soft spot for children of special needs, and I think that that would be where my heart is, to make sure that those programs are really running to the top.
So to bring the change, what plan do I have? So I just say like I will bring the change, structural change in the classroom. It will start from kindergarten class, and as mentioned, like one teacher to 25 to 30 students, outcome is not good. Not all the 20 to 25 students comes out from the class with A+. So in my goal, I will select the 5 students who are above average and make them leader of the small group, 3 to 4 students of the class, and they sit in the group. So when the teacher introduces this subject, that one student will keep an eye on other 3 students and help them to progress. So initially, there are in 25 students class, 5 students are capable to do that. Gradually, that 20% of students, that 5 becomes 7 becomes 10, and at the end of the year, everyone.
Sorry, time's up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead, finish this. I thought you were done. Go ahead.
initially, when beginning of the class, beginning of the year, there are 5 students are capable to handle other 20 students. But as the time progresses, 5 turns into 6, 6 turns to 10. So end of the year, all the students are more or less equal. All students are like,
Time's up.
thank you.
All right, thank you. What's your, it's hard to guess when a sentence is done with a pause or a period, so please excuse us there. Use our discretion there. What's your, this is another question from the audience. What's your position regarding keeping religion out of public schools? Kendra Shaw, we'll start from you.
Religion is a good thing, but it should not be involved in the education. But definitely I encourage the spirituality. Spirituality is good for mental growth, but religion is different. And so religion should be out, but particularly one religion should be out from the school system.
All right. Salgado Cohen.
Well, as school board members, we have to go by state and federal law. So absolutely keeping religion out of schools is the law. So we have to uphold all the laws, whether we agree or we don't. So it is vitally important as a school board member that we understand all the laws and we uphold the law. And we also meet with our legislators to go ahead and push for laws that we want amended, such as the funding formula for schools. I would work with legislators in order to get Piscataway our fair share of funding.
Kenneth King.
I always believe that people should be able to follow and perform whatever is true inside of their heart. So just because somebody has a certain religion that others may not agree with, or because the religion may not be allowed to be practiced inside of certain places, sometimes people need their religion. Sometimes people need the things that they believe in. Sometimes people need the beliefs that the things that they follow. Just because a person wants to perform a religion, it's no different than somebody who might believe or want to follow some type of club or activity or agenda. So we should just always give everybody the grace to practice and follow whatever it is that's true and dear to them.
Right, thank you. Another question from the audience, an engaging audience. Are you supportive of the music program, art program, and foreign languages in lower grades? Let's start from Kenneth King.
Art is extremely important. It's probably one of the most important things. Without art, our children will never get the opportunity to express themselves. Without getting the opportunity to express themselves, they may never get a chance to actually find their identity. So not only should we encourage it, but we should actually improve on it and make sure that all of the kids have access and exposure to all different types of arts. I wasn't exposed to a Broadway play until I was in my 30s. And ever since then, I can't stop going to them. So I'm trying to make sure that our youth never go through the same things that I had to go through.
Okay, Salgado Cohen.
If you notice, I have a big button on my bag. It says, Piscataway Arts. Art changes everything. I'm very much an advocate of the arts. So much so that I support everything that we do here in Piscataway. We have an award-winning arts program. 8 years in a row, we have won for arts. The arts expands us in so many ways. It changes our brain chemistry. It moves us in ways and shapes our hearts, our souls. So absolutely, art can be in many forms. Mr. King did not mention, but his daughter is a poet, so spoken word. My child is an actress, acting. We have fine arts. We have written art here, children writing drama. We have everything that you can possibly think of. We have kids doing graphic art. We have an installation in our school board room that is changed every year with, I think it's 12 pieces, with the top kids art that is installed every year in our boardroom, and we get to reflect on that through the year. I love art, changes everything.
Thank you. Candidate Shah?
Yes, I will support, because any program which brings uplifting of the students, increase the progression of students, I'll support that. And art, sports, music, they increase students' well-being in terms of mental, physical, spiritual, social, as well as emotional. So I strongly support art, music, and sports. Thank you.
Sure. 30 seconds.
Salgado Cohen mentioned that my daughter's a poet, which is not true. My daughter is one of the top poets, teenage poets in the state of New Jersey. In 2024, she performed her poetry for the governor of New Jersey at Dumdwacket.
Another question to all candidates. You state, this is also from the audience present here, you state a lot of businesses. Sorry, I'm trying to read this, it's handwritten. So you state a lot of businesses. Why do residents not know of all these new businesses and buildings coming to Piscataway? Can you help suggest how this can help cut taxes and add to schools? That's a loaded question.
Can I start?
Absolutely.
So I think that what that means is partnerships. As the chair of the Culture, Climate, and Community Relations person, what that means is that as a school district, the more partnerships we make with, let's say, Colgate or Palmolive, or we make a partnership with Pfizer, any of these companies that are in Piscataway, these partnerships, these multi-million-dollar companies, they have money. They have large pockets of money that they are needing to get rid of. They need to make donations, and why not right here in our Piscataway School District? That would defray what monies our families need to give.
All right. No preference. Anybody? Karen King.
So again, adding on to what Ms. Cowan said, and also what I've said before, we have tons of businesses. I don't know if you guys know, but Louis Vuitton is based right here in Piscataway. Chanel right here in Piscataway. The home base for Best Buy is here in Piscataway. The home base for Bob's Furniture is here in Piscataway, and the list goes on and on and on. So a lot of these places that are here in Piscataway, including multiple different pharmaceutical companies, they could offer internships to our kids. They could offer more programs to where they sponsor different types of events for our kids. This would offset tons of money in taxes, where our kids will get more exposure to different things, and also it will lessen the burden on the local taxpayers.
All right, so I don't know much about it. I may ask the mayor, which we met many times on the road while he was walking the dogs and I'm taking my walk. I can ask him and I'll find out what all these businesses does help reduce the tax, and all these businesses do help in strengthen the education system. So I don't know, honestly. Thank you.
I think that, and I guess that's all the questions we have, both pre-screened and questions from the audience. Thank you, audience, for your participation. Just like that, we are towards the end of the session. there's time for a closing statement. And each closing statement is 60 seconds long. Like I promised, 60 minute.
Seconds.
1 minute or 60 seconds. Okay, we're doing some math here. Okay. So, like I promised, we'll start from the other side. Candid Shah,
Yeah,
please
so,
start.
as I mentioned, I would like to change the structure, model of education in the classroom. And you guys were probably thinking, what exposure do I have in education? So I'm talking about changing the method of education. Well, I'll tell you about a little bit about my background. Like I'm MD, I'm an ophthalmologist from India, and I did my USLA exams here. I started my residency training in surgery and then pathology. And middle of the residency, I had a complicated pregnancy. For that, I had to hold my residency training program. Following that, I stayed with my son, and recently I joined again hospital system for my work. But while I was at the home, I was going to schools because of my special interest in education. I was going to school as a substitute teacher. And because I wanted to expose how the students are studying here, what my son is getting from the school, what kind of education they are providing. I had so many questions, so I started substituting. And during that time, probably sorry, my time's now. Sorry, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Candid Salgado, Cohen.
Wow. So, Piscataway has long been recognized for its strong special education department, and we are proud of that program, especially those served in our autistic students. It's viewed in the state as a model. Our teachers and staff do incredible work supporting students in diverse learning needs, but we still have much to do. We need to strive to do better and incorporate new technologies, not just in special education, but all over our district. We need to have research, technologies, and teaching methods that are ever evolving. AI is here, it's not going anywhere. We need to dig in and reach for the stars. Our students are adaptable, and we need to be adaptable too. We need to not be afraid of the future because it's coming no matter what. Change is the only thing that is always happening every moment. So we need to meet it and evolve with it. Our students are ready, I'm ready, so let's go. Ultimately, student achievement is about more than just grades or numbers. It's about helping every single child feel whole, confident, and capable. Whether their success comes through academics, the arts, athletics, personal growth, or jobs our jobs as educators and board members is to make sure that they have support, opportunities, and belief that they need to reach their full potential.
Thank you. Candid King.
As a deputy for New York City, I'm privy to a lot of information that comes out of the New York City Department of Education. And I've always compared New York City education system to Piscataway education system. And I was showing my daughter, because my daughter was born in Staten Island, look how much better you have it. But then I stopped and I said, why am I comparing Piscataway to New York City? So I started comparing Piscataway to other local municipalities. And again, I can say, look how much better you are in Piscataway than you would be in a lot of other places. And I say that to a lot of kids in Piscataway. We just recently implemented esports in Piscataway High School. That's something I never thought I would see being taught inside of a high school, where now kids can look at that as a potential career. Kids are making millions of dollars playing sports, playing video games, in competitions. So there are a lot of things that we can improve on, but ultimately, we're in a very good place, and I love being here. Thank you.
Thank you. Despite the stunning silence, I can still hear the audience screaming from the inside. Applaud. You may now applaud. Thank you, candidates, for making it tonight. And thank you, all the audience. On behalf of the league, I would like to thank everybody. And please, 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 regardless of whom you vote for, please do vote. That's the only voice you have for being a non-elected official. So please vote. That's democracy. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the League of Women Voters, I would like to thank our moderator and all those from Delta Sigma Theta and the League who put this forum together. Special thanks to the candidates for attending. They will be around for a meet and greet for a few minutes after the forum. Also thanks to the students from Piscataway High School who helped film this forum and make it available for posting on both of our organizations' website. Remember to vote on November 4th or vote early at the Piscataway, Maine or Kennedy Library the week before, or other early voting locations in Middlesex County. You can also still request to vote by mail ballot. If you have any questions about voting, please ask me after we break. Thank you.